The NFL just dropped the brand new schedule for the 2023 NFL season, and our Detroit Lions are squaring off against the Super Bowl champs. But for some reason, it doesn't seem like a lot of people are excited about it. I'm going to give you guys a couple reasons why you should be excited about Lions Chiefs week 1. So Lions Chiefs is a game that I don't think anybody expected to be the first game of the season. The Kansas City Chiefs are obviously coming off of a Super Bowl year, and the Detroit Lions are coming off an impressive end to the season. But again, I think it's a game that caught a lot of people off guard. And for some Lions fans, from what I was able to see once the schedule was released, there was a good amount of mixed feelings about this. Some Lions fans were really excited about the opportunity to play week 1 and to have a nationally televised game. And then you had a couple people that were really kind of on the fence or not really excited because of who the opponent is, being the Kansas City Chiefs. So, like I kind of said in the intro, I'm going to give you guys at least 3 good reasons of why you should actually be excited about the Lions and the Chiefs squaring off in week 1. With that said, let's start with reason number 1. And it's the fact that you actually get a nationally televised game. You actually get national recognition from everybody who is an NFL fan. Last year, the Detroit Lions only had 2 primetime games, or at least 2 nationally televised games. One of them was actually considered primetime, with the Lions playing on Thanksgiving and then playing Green Bay at the end of the season to determine whether Green Bay would actually be going to the playoffs or not. This year, the Lions have 5 nationally televised games, and 4 of them are actually in prime time. And the first one being the game against the Chiefs. This is something that wasn't very common last year. Remember, last year the Lions didn't have any primetime games, and we were all talking about how this was such a big sign of disrespect to the Lions, the fact that they didn't have one. Well, now you get that opportunity. You get an opportunity to showcase to the entire country why this team should be taken serious, and you get to do it against a high quality opponent. Now, I get that it's not necessarily an easy game, but this is something we as fans have been clamoring about for years. We have the whole mantra of Detroit versus everybody and how nobody takes Detroit serious and how we're always overlooked or underestimated. Well, now you're not. Now you get put in prime time. Now you're the first game that everyone's going to watch. When everybody is all excited about football coming back, they have to talk about your team. So that's the first reason why, again, as a Lions fan, you should be absolutely excited about the Lions playing the Chiefs in week 1. Now, let's move along to reason number 2 why you need to be excited about Lions Chiefs. And that's the fact that the Lions are going up against a high quality opponent in the first game of the season. Again, the Chiefs are coming off of a very impressive Super Bowl win over the Philadelphia Eagles, where they looked truly dominant in that game. And one thing that can truly help a team like the Lions that is looking to prove themselves not only to fans but again to the nation is being able to go toe to toe with the Super Bowl champs and actually putting up a really competitive game in a situation where, again, the Lions probably won't be favored. Currently, the betting odds is that has the Chiefs winning by at least 6.5. And I expect that line to probably even move up a little higher as we get closer to the game, as we get closer to understanding what these rosters look like. But at least you have that opportunity to go up against a really good opponent and get an idea of what this team is capable of. The Lions have made a lot of adjustments in the offseason. We've made adjustments on the offense by trading away DeAndre Swift. We didn't re-sign Jamal Williams, and Jameson Williams is going to be serving a 6-game suspension on top of all of that. Plus, you add in the fact that on the defensive side of the ball, there has been a complete overhaul of the secondary. Now, again, I understand that for some people that may sound like a reason to not be excited, but those changes on the secondary have actually been improvements. You've signed Cam Sutton, you've signed Emmanuel Mosley, and you've signed Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who have all put together careers that are very impressive when you look at what they've been able to do in defending the pass. Very low yards allowed, very low touchdowns allowed. And these guys are able to create turnovers and be able to give your offense more opportunities to be explosive. So what better test for this new secondary than to go against Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and an offense led by Andy Reid to be able to see, is this defense going to be able to hold up for the long haul this season? Again, that was an issue last year when the Lions weren't able to win games and they went on that long losing streak. It's mostly because the defense wasn't able to get it together. However, once they started winning games, the one thing that we saw that was very consistent was that the defense was able to get stops. They were able to commit turnovers and they were able to get off the field. If that translates, or if you're at least able to take that defense and put it up against such an explosive offense and they hold their own, you are going to get a lot of credit and there's going to be a lot more optimism about this team going forward throughout the rest of this season. Now, that leads me into reason number 3 of why you should be excited about Lions versus Chiefs. And it's a reason that, like, I'm not going to lie to you guys. A couple years ago, this point annoyed the heck out of me. But if we're talking about a reason that you should be excited, we absolutely have to add this to the conversation. And it's the fact that you actually have a quarterback that has gone toe to toe with Patrick Mahomes in the last few years and actually came out on top. Jared Goff and Patrick Mahomes put on one of the greatest performances in a Monday night football game, a game that saw the final score be 54-51 in favor of Los Angeles and Jared Goff. And in that game, Jared Goff was fantastic. 31 of 49, 413 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions. If you want to have another reason why you should be optimistic, why you should be excited, is that you get that same quarterback and a Ben Johnson led offense, and in an offense that was one of the top offenses last year, and they're going head to head against a team that they're probably a little more familiarized with. Trust me, Dan Campbell is probably already doing his research. They're already studying the Chiefs, and they're going to know how to attack this team. There weren't many teams that the Lions went against last year that they weren't able to figure out and be able to exploit offensively. Yes, you'll be missing a couple pieces in JMO, but you still have a bunch of new pieces as well in Jameer Gibbs, in David Montgomery, the fact that you've added Marvin Jones. And again, this offensive line will actually more than likely be healthy week 1. So you take that offensive line into Kansas City, and at the very least, we can expect fireworks. We can expect a game where I do think that it'll be back and forth when it comes to scoring. So again, let's recap exactly why you should be excited about this Lions Chiefs matchup. We got national recognition. Again, we can no longer complain as Lions fans that, hey, no one's talking about us or nobody's giving us credit. We are going to be front and center, and all eyes are going to be on us. Secondly, you get a high quality opponent. If you're a team that has aspirations to get to the playoffs, to win the Super Bowl, you can't just it's not enough to just beat teams. You want to beat the best of the best. How many years have we been complaining about how Minnesota is somewhat fraudulent because they end up having these, double-digit win seasons, but at the end of the day, when they get to the postseason and they have to play the best of the best, they fold. If you can play the best of the best early, get used to that higher quality of competition, and actually hang, or better yet, come out on top, it only is going to benefit your football team further down the line. And thirdly, you actually have a quarterback that can go toe to toe with a Patrick Mahomes, and with Ben Johnson calling the plays and with the offensive weapons that you have available to you, there's a lot of optimism that you should have that, hey, Jared Goff can lead this offense in a way where he can put them in position to get points and put up really good numbers. And all you have to do is sit back and count on your defense to hold them to a couple stops and be able to get off the field and be able to first force some 3-and-outs. So, if you were on the fence about Lions Chiefs and you weren't really excited before, hopefully these 3 reasons gives you a reason to be excited about the game. With that said, be sure to leave me a comment. Let me know if you guys are excited, if you're concerned, what exactly are you concerned about? And if you're really optimistic, what is it that has you so optimistic about the Lions Chiefs matchup? Also, be sure to follow this channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that way you never miss a video I upload or any of the live streams that I have going on. Again, this is the Lions Pulse. I'm Miko. Appreciate you guys coming by.